Flannel Acres. I wanted to give you a spring update, and as you can see, it doesn't look much like spring yet. It is the first week of March and we've got all kinds of snow still here. Let me give you a little perspective on that. That is my greenhouse that I can't really get into because it's snowed in by the door. The dog, she's walking on top of the snow. If she sank down, she'd be up to her belly right now. And our garden fence, this is our garden. I'm sinking in the snow. The fence around our garden is 5 feet tall. If I can zoom in here. That's all that you can see of our fence that's sticking up out of the ground. So only a couple of feet of the fence is still up. And then over here, that's our burning barrel. And you can only see about the top foot of it. That's like a 50-gallon metal drum that we burn some papers and stuff in once in a while. And that is actually sitting on top of some cinder blocks. So that's how deep the snow is out here. It's kind of crazy. So despite all this crazy snow that's probably going to be here for a while yet, there's some things that we have to do to get ready for spring. I'm looking forward to planting some seeds indoors, but there's some things with my plant shelf and the lights that I need to get updated and just to make things easier. Also wanted to give you an update on my poor pepper plants. You may remember the video from that a few months ago, and just wanted to give you an update. All right, let's go inside. Last fall, you may remember when I did a video about saving pepper plants through the winter, and I dug up my pepper plants, like my bell peppers and jalapenos, and put them in pots and brought them inside. Somebody had told me that if you keep them over the winter and then replant them in the spring, you will have a lot more peppers that grow on them the second year. So I thought, well, let's try that. So I did. I dug them up and I saved them, and you can watch the video about that. But here's the update that's kind of sad. This is what they look like. They're all dead. I think part of it had to do with how dry the winter was this year, but the biggest part of it is probably just that they got neglected. As you can see, they sit on the bottom shelf of my plant growing shelf here, and they just got forgotten. I had so many of them here and just didn't keep up on the watering, so they died. So I'll have to redo peppers this year, which isn't that big of a deal. I've got plenty of seeds that I saved, so not a problem there. I'll just redo them. Maybe next year I'll do a better job of that, but oh well. So let me give you another look at my plant shelf here. And this is what I'm going to be working on in the coming weeks. Let me get a little bit further back here. Okay, so I've got 3 shelves. It's made out of 2x4s primarily and some deck screws. And each shelf is large enough to hold 4 of these regular size seedling flat trays, I guess they're called. So I can fit 4 of those across there. There's also enough room on each shelf to have 3, let me get this out of the way here, to have 3 shop lights. At least that's what we call them, shop lights. And I've got extra bulbs that sit up on top, extra lights that I haven't hooked up yet. And the shelf just kind of serves as storage and dead plants during the winter. And I store some of my beehive stuff down at the bottom. I've got my saved seeds and newspaper seedling pot stuff there. My bee suits and more trays. The thing that I want to change about this year is this setup. I've got 3 lights per shelf. So whenever I go, and I've got seedlings growing here and they're doing good, and I need to raise the lights so that I can get to them and water them, and then lower the lights back down. And also as the plants grow, I raise the lights a little bit by little bit. Now, obviously with each shelf, I've got 6 chains to adjust. It's a little bit cumbersome, kind of annoying, bothersome, you know. Who wants to deal with 6 chains per shelf? And I've got 3 shelves here, so 6 times 3, that's 18 chains that I have to adjust. Kind of a pain. So what I want to do is hook these lights together so that I only have 1 chain per side to adjust. So I will have 6 chains instead of 18 chains to adjust. So what I'm going to do is use these Here I've got 3 lights here. We've got some of these metal pieces in our garage. I don't remember where they came from, but they're pretty sturdy. I don't know what kind of metal this is. But it's pretty heavy duty. I had my husband cut these to length so that I can put them on here, kind of like that. Nothing's lined up right now, obviously, but they'll go across like that. I'll have a hole in the center right here to hook a chain to, and I'll do that for all of my lights. Okay, so here's what I'm planning to do. I've got the light on here that is going to be in the center. And what I'm going to do is put the holes right through these spots here. If I did it straight through the middle, which is possible, I would have to take out all this stuff here. This little panel comes out and there's wiring under there. And it can be done like that. I'm choosing not to because these other newer lights that I have these switches on the end. And I don't really want to undo any of that. I think it'd be more trouble than I think it's worth. So I'm just going to go through these other spots right there. And there's going to be a gap there between the metal that goes across and this. You'll see the screw that goes through. But I think it'll hold it just fine. It'll be good enough for the purpose. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, you need to obviously remove the bulbs from your lights before you do this. Otherwise, you'll be running your drill right into the bulb, and that's not a good idea. So what I'm going to start by doing is lining up this piece of metal on the center of this light and mark it and drill it and put the first bolts in. So I've got the metal pieces hooked onto both ends. There's one end and there's the other. And it looks and feels very sturdy. I'm very happy with that so far. Now what I need to do is drill a hole through here, right in the center, and that's where the chain is going to hook to. I'm just going to tip this up and knock off some of these not wood shavings, metal shavings, so I'm not dropping them all over the house. Okay, now I'm going to hook on the chain. This is the chain that comes with the shop lights, and they come with these hooks that look like that. So I'm just going to put the hook right through this hole, like this. I'm going to use some pliers to clamp it shut. Just like that. I'm going to hook the chain on the last link. And I'm going to clamp that shut as well. That'll hold it tight. Okay, so now I've got the chains hooked on, all three lights hooked together. This end looks good. Now I need to put a hook right up here on this 2x4. I'll probably just move this one up to here. And then I can hang the light, and I'll do the same on the other side, and I'll show you that in a minute. So the lights are up, and I'm going to turn them on and see what it looks like. There we go. Looks Looks like they're all lit. Some of them are a little bit flickery. I don't know why that is, but there we go. I've got them all hooked together. One chain to adjust it by. Lots of light for my plants. And that should work pretty good. So what are you doing for your seedlings this year? Are you doing a grow light or a shelf or something in the window or maybe a greenhouse? Take some pictures or some video and show me. I'd like to see all the different ideas and get inspired by everybody else too. I'll see you later. Bye.